What's up, guys? Just wanted to hop on here real quick again because this was a highly requested video on psychology. Received a couple messages about not following the plan, taking too big of losses, not having a proper target, and a bunch of just psychology saying, oh my goodness, I see a huge red candle, let me get out immediately, or really depending on your position. And you're saying, oh my goodness, it's definitely going to reverse. It's got to reverse. I'm the greatest trader in the world. This is definitely going to reverse. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried. I'm not even going to stop out here because I'm just the best trader in the world. And in this video, I'm going to go over sort of the first steps to getting rid of that mindset. In everyday trading, we make a ton of decisions without even realizing it. And psychology is our biggest friend and our worst nightmare. What I mean by that is I really believe that the emotional aspect of trading is, quite frankly, a bigger portion of our trading than we think it is, and probably the biggest portion of our trading. And that is the reason, that is pretty much what separates profitable traders and losing traders. And once you master the emotional sides of things, you can't lose. You literally cannot lose. And I mean that kind of like from a philosophical standpoint, as well as a sort of monetary standpoint as well. Because as soon as you begin to equip the emotional sides of trading and sort of begin to master it, you will cut down your losses immensely, and your profit will increase a lot. And you may be thinking, okay, well, what does that mean? So the easiest thing, and this is in its very simplest form. I just wanted to keep it very simple, very basic, and just dumb it down for you guys. Is have a plan. First and foremost, have a plan. Just because we send out alert in the Discord, or you get an alert from some guru on the internet, whatever that may be, if it's not your own analysis, and even if it is your own analysis, you should always have a plan. Always have a plan. No one is the best trader in the world. No one creates the market. No one dictates where stocks are going to go except the market makers themselves. So the most important thing is have a plan. That is the most important step. So once you identify that you need to have a plan, that involves setting a stop loss. Once you set a stop loss, then you can set your target. And then once you have all three of these things, stick to the plan. And this is the hardest part, which I'll get to in just a moment. So let's take a look at this space trade that I had. It was on, I don't see the date, okay, January 6th. So this is about a month ago. It was coming into a supply zone. And keep in mind, this sort of psychology doesn't just apply to my style of trading. It applies everywhere. So my plan was, I was going to take this short down to VWAP, and that was my target, and my stop was above high of day. And that's exactly what I did. And good things happen when you stick to a plan. So for example, when you're day trading like me, options especially becomes a little bit riskier. You want to get in and out pretty quickly. So once again, my stop loss was above high of day. I got my entry. This was the blue arrow here, as you can see, and targeting the VWAP, which is this purple line you see, and then the stop loss was above high of day. So right around this red candle and this green candle. And look what happened. My entry was here, and I stopped out on this trade. So it was a losing trade, but I only lost, I don't know how much I lost, but it was not a lot at all. It was, a couple cents on the contracts, which are only a couple dollars. Cents equal dollars pretty much. So I think I lost between 5 to 10 cents, which is like $5 to $10 on the contracts, which is nothing. And if I was like, oh no, this thing's definitely going to reverse, that's another 40-cent move. And in terms of options, that's a lot of money. And so if you just think about it on penny stocks or forex, whatever that may be, this is a huge move. If I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely gonna reverse on me. It's definitely gonna come down. I'm the best trader in the world. And you think wrong, this is exactly what happens. People see this giant green candle and they say, oh my goodness, I should have stopped out above high of day. And now I'm stopping up at 24.8 for an extra 40-cent loss. And that's a huge loss. That is a big loss. And the most important thing to remember about this video is I would rather you see 10 losing trades, but you stuck to your plan, than 10 winning trades and you did not stick to your plan. The entire reasoning behind that is because in the long run, you just have to trust this, you will become a much more profitable trader in the long run if you cut your losses when you're supposed to. Because pretty much, and I'm going to have to be blunt and honest, if you do that, for example, if you hold here and you say, oh, I'm holding, this thing is definitely going to reverse, and you see this start coming down, this is just pure luck. This is just pure luck. I am sorry, but convince me otherwise, but this is just pure luck. consider in terms of my strategy, my style of trading. And I trade supply and demand, and there was no supply. We broke supplies, it's super bullish, and all of a sudden we just started reversing, and that's sort of just people just taking a profit and coming down, and then we just chop the whole rest of the day. So you have to stick to your plan. Another example of that is NVIDIA. Here's where I did not stick to my plan, and even though it was a winner. And so my plan was enter a demand zone, double bottom here was great looking trade. Beautiful, everything was lining up. This is like a 10 out of 10 setup. I will take this every day of the week. And I entered at this first blue candle, or sorry, this blue arrow here with a stop loss below low of day, which is this red candle you see here, and a target of VWAP. Well, look at that. We pushed up and, we came all the way up here and I saw us reverse. This is a super bearish candle, not super, but bearish candle because we couldn't close high. And I was like, oh my goodness, we're reversing. We're coming back down to the downside. I'm going to lose money on this trade. Oh my goodness, and I sold. And I sold for, yes, it was a gain, but not as good as up here, which was my initial target. And it was twice the amount up here. So this is an example of sticking to your plan when I didn't, and it still worked out. But the idea here is I didn't stick to my plan. If it stopped me out, oh well, at least I followed my plan because that's a win in itself. And, I didn't follow my plan here, and look what happened. It immediately when I got out, it reversed on me. It reversed on me and it hit my target for double the amount. And it cost me pretty big. And you just have to trust your analysis. Trust that, you have a reasonable target with a reasonable stop loss. Another trade that I took actually pretty recently was this NEO trade. Right here, and it was, I was pretty happy with my analysis here. So this yellow line you see here is a key level, and I said, okay, if we hold this key level, which we did, then we're going to push up to this 58.5 level, which you can't really see, but it's this line actually right here, where you see all these wicks here. And I said, okay, I'm going to have a 20-cent stop loss, which was here, right on this dotted line here, this trend line that you see actually hit it perfectly. And I saw this huge red candle. I was like, oh my goodness, this is completely bearish. We are dropping for sure because I think I'm the best trader in the world and I know everything, right? No, that's not how the market works. So pretty much what happened was I got in here and I was down, not a lot, but, some money. I was down on the contracts here and we hit, right at this stop loss area that I would have gotten out at. But I actually got out here, right below, as soon as we got below 58. And there was no reason to, because look at this. We actually reversed and it hit my target and these contracts spiked. For whatever reason, they spiked and it was a huge winner. I don't know why, but they did. And I was really upset with myself because I didn't follow my plan. It was a really good, really well mapped out trade and I just didn't follow my plan. So like I said, I'd rather see 10 losers and you follow your plan because in the long run, it will benefit you than see 10 winners and you get lucky on a reversal like we saw on the space trade. So if you guys have any questions on that, please let me know. Just a reminder, the 4 biggest things I really want you guys to work on is have a plan, set a stop loss, set your target, and just stick to the plan. That's the most important part. You have to, it's not going to take, this isn't something that happens overnight, just something you guys need to work on. And yeah, I still work on this myself. It's all an emotional game here. And once you master that, you'll become a really, really great trader. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I intend to do more of these videos. This is just sort of the first video that I did it on psychology. So please let me know if you have any questions related to this topic. Thanks.